Picture this. You're stuck outside the United States, and the normal line to get in looks like the wait at Disney World on a holiday weekend, except there's no fast pass and the stakes are way higher than a roller coaster. That's exactly the situation Humanitarian Parole was designed for, and today we're breaking it all down like it's snack time in 5th grade. Humanitarian Parole is basically the government's way of saying, okay, we see you, the situation is serious, come on in for now. It's not a visa, it's not a green card, it's more like a temporary hall pass with an expiration date stamped right on it. You apply for it through U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, or USCIS, using a form called the I-131A. Think of that form as your audition tape for American Idol, except instead of singing, you're explaining why your life or health is genuinely in danger, or why there's an urgent humanitarian reason you need to be here. The bar to get approved is not low, so let's be real about that right now. USCIS wants to see that your situation is urgent, that you have a compelling reason, and that there's no other reasonable way for you to enter the country legally in time. So what counts as a good enough reason, you ask? Medical emergencies are a big one, like needing life-saving treatment in the U.S. that you simply cannot get where you are, and USCIS has granted parole in those situations more often than people realize. Family emergencies are another door that sometimes opens here. If a close relative in the United States is critically ill or dying and you need to be there, that human urgency is exactly the kind of thing this system was quietly built to handle. There have also been large-scale parole programs tied to specific countries or crises, like what we saw with Afghan and Ukrainian nationals after those respective conflicts escalated around 2021 and 2020. Those programs worked a little differently, operating more like pipelines than individual case-by-case auditions. But they ran on the same legal authority. Now here's where people trip up, and it's almost poetic in its irony. You cannot just waltz up to a U.S. port of entry, knock on the door, and say humanitarian parole, please. Most applications are filed before you travel, and skipping that step is like showing up to a potluck empty-handed and confused about why people are giving you looks. You'll need to submit serious documentation with that I-131A, things like medical records, letters from doctors, evidence of the emergency, and a financial sponsor who can show they'll support you while you're here. The filing fee is currently $575, which in a genuine emergency feels a little bit like charging someone for an umbrella in a hurricane. But here we are. Processing times can vary wildly, and USCIS can expedite in true emergencies, so if you're applying because of a situation that is actively on fire right now, you should say that clearly and loudly in your application. The squeaky wheel gets the parole, basically. If you get approved, parole is usually granted for a specific period, often 1 year, and it can sometimes be renewed, but that is never guaranteed. You are not automatically on a path to a green card just because you got in, which surprises a lot of people who think parole is secretly a backdoor to permanent residency. Here is the honest truth about this process that a lot of websites gloss over. It is complicated, it is document heavy, and the margin for error is small enough that doing it without an immigration lawyer is kind of like performing surgery after watching a YouTube tutorial. A good immigration attorney knows how to frame your case, what evidence hits hardest, and how to make USCIS see the urgency without your application getting lost in the pile. Immigration lawyers who specialize in humanitarian cases have often seen every scenario you can imagine and a few you cannot, which means they can tell you pretty quickly whether your situation qualifies and how strong your chances are. That honest early assessment alone can save you months of stress and a $575 lesson. The system is imperfect, the timeline can feel brutal when you're in the middle of a real crisis, and not every deserving case gets approved, which is genuinely hard to sit with. But knowing the process, preparing your documents carefully, and working with someone who knows the rules gives you the best shot you've got. If you want to understand more about how our team helps people navigate situations exactly like this one, check out the links in the description and let us know if we can help you figure out your next step.